and welcome to Dave's Think Tank. The other day I rewatched the original Blade Runner from 1982, but it wasn't like I remembered. It was somehow weird, spooky, strange. It turns out this was the director's cut, and he had made extensive changes. The original had a voiceover by Harrison Ford in a calm, soothing tone, telling you what was going on. Producers made them do this because they figured no one would understand this cyberpunk future unless someone explained it to them. And they were right. I really wanted to watch the original, just like I remembered from the theater. I figured other people would feel the same, so I decided to reproduce the original film, including Harrison Ford's voiceover. I didn't have a script, so I wrote something from memory. I think it's pretty close. I also couldn't get Harrison Ford to read it, but I did manage to get the next best thing. And so, without further ado, I present to you the original Blade Runner. The year is 2020. The future. And you couldn't imagine a stranger place. They got flying cars. And it rains all the time. People eat Chinese food from vendors on the street. Not sure how futuristic that last one is, though. I ate a lot of Chinese food from a truck at U of T back in the 90s. But flying cars, that's what the future holds in 2020. And in 1982, the worst thing they could imagine for 2020 was rain. What an innocent time. The future has one more thing as well. Robots. Not your typical Rosie the Robot robots. These robots look just like people. They look so much like people, there are only two ways to tell that they're really robots. The first way is to ask them a series of annoying questions while you observe their eyeball through a telescope from across the room. The second is to wait till they try to kill you. The first usually leads to the second, so it's best to search them for weapons before questioning them. I'm what's known as a Blade Runner. I can do the questioning, but even I find it annoying. I prefer to go out on the street and wait for a replicant to try to kill me. One day I was just staring off into space, and I had the most unexpected daydream about a unicorn. Very strange. Didn't seem to fit into the story. It also seemed kind of girly. But I'm sure the director had a reason for adding it. Best to just ignore it for now. If you've ever had Daryl Hannah squeeze your head between her thighs, you know this can bring on a variety of confusing emotions. Eventually, though, you're gonna want her to stop. The Rutger Hauer model is the one you really have to watch out for, though. He was pretty buff back in those days. He could punch through walls. And he took a bullet like a champ. Although, being in the bathroom and having Rutger's head pop out above the sink is an unsettling experience at the best of times. In the future, most robot fights eventually end up on the rooftop of a 30-story building. I was hanging on by my fingertips when Rutger saved me at the last instant. I don't know why he saved me. He was about to die from his robot expiry date. I guess he had one last soliloquy in him and he wanted someone to listen to it. Something about tears in the rain. I don't know. I wasn't really listening by that point. So, you're probably wondering what happened to Rachel. I cornered her and asked her if she loved me. She said yes. But in our previous interaction, I had kind of traumatized her and demanded that she always agree with me. She seemed sincere though, so we ran away together. But then I found an origami unicorn. It must be from that cop, but what did it mean? Was he telling me that he knows about my unicorn daydreams? Does that mean I'm a replicant? Or is he telling me that he has girly unicorn dreams too? Maybe I should be running away with him. Doesn't matter. This story is over. All that's left is the future. My future. Not yours. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay. You're walking down an aisle in the grocery store with your wife. I don't have a wife. You're approached by a salesperson who wants to do a survey. She asks your wife what she thinks you would prefer, potatoes or stuffing. Potatoes. Your wife says potatoes. See? You interrupt to say you would prefer stuffing. What? Well, she's trying to comprehend this. You tell her that you would prefer rice to both potato and stuffing. I agree with that. Then you tell her that you prefer her sister to her. What? Then you tell her that you prefer her brother to both her and her sister. What are you trying to say about me? So, do you buy the box of stuffing mix? I'll tell you what I do.